I always wanted to do that. All right, let's go.
So, welcome to Between the Sheets with Nathan and
Sabrina Dennis. This is exciting.
let's go. I'm
excited.
excited.
Let's go.
How you feeling?
Nervous, anxious, excited, fun. Like, oh, it's a bit of everything.
You ready to chat the business?
You always chat the business, though.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to tell. This is something that I've just been waiting for to do, to kind of let people know about our journey, where we're coming from. So, who would you say is Nathan and Sabrina Dennis?
I would say we've had so many different variations and versions of ourselves. Like the Nathan I met in a long time ago, because I don't remember the year. What year was it? 2002?
I don't know.
2000. You do know. 2002.
I can't remember.
I think it was there. Around there. You was. Oh yeah, it wasn't you, was it? It was a different Nathan then. It's different to the Nathan that we see now. The man that I met, the younger man that I met then, was just like on a journey of discovery. I think a personal journey, and everything was just upside down.
Yeah.
We weren't where we are.
So when we think about this and why we wanted to do the podcast, obviously we have 4 daughters.
Yeah.
We've been married for 17 years.
In a few weeks, 17 years.
And
I think we should clap.
Charity. Yeah. We run a charity together.
Yes. And a business.
And we have a business together. And we have Nathan and Sabrina as well. Yeah. And we have a few investments that we're making. And many times people are always coming up to us and says, how do you do it all?
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you work together? How do you work together and like live together and have children together and like neither one of us is in prison and we're both still very much alive.
Close. Why you joking now?
So I guess that is the thing, isn't it? It's about sharing in this podcast series our how, our why, who we are, why we do the things that we do, in an effort to help others to know that they can have successful relationship and be building something together.
I would say have your cake and eat it.
Ooh.
So how did we meet? So I remember it from my perspective. So it's like 20 years ago?
21 years ago.
I do apologize.
That's important, the one.
So it's 21 years ago. I'm on road.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Hold on. What does that mean? You was on road? Because I don't think everybody, you don't have to be explicit. But
yeah, I say that in a reason. It's not everything I got chatting. So I was a young person that was entrepreneurial
on the street,
using the streets as the kind of shop front,
street entrepreneur,
street pharmacy, and that kind of type of behavior. But at the same time, I was diversifying, and I was doing under 18 dances. And I remember walking into, which was actually a church building.
Oh, the irony.
And going to an under 18s party to promote my event that was coming up. And I remember walking through the door, and I was like, I looked through that kind of you was giving tickets out in it or something like that.
Yeah, so I was there. I was just there taking the money.
I remember looking, and I thought, she looked good. I don't know if I kept it moving, and I think I asked my cousin Jamie, who happened to be a friend. And I asked her, who's that you with? And she said, that's my friend. I said, what's her name?
What's her name?
Sabrina. And then, was it that night that I actually come into my car?
Yeah, that same day. So it was a daytime event, like a daytime under 18. Imagine this, they do daytimes under 18 parties in a church hall.
Holy Bash. It was It's actually called a Holy Bash. That's what it was called?
It was called Holy Bash.
Holy Bash.
She was there because she knew the guy that was running the thing, and he wanted female door staff.
Okay.
So, because obviously you get boys and girls going, you didn't want the men searching the girls, so he wanted the female. So she was doing that, and I was just like there because I didn't do much really. I didn't go anywhere or do anything. So she's like, "Do you want to come with me?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll come." So I remember going with her, and I remember distinctly the two, because I'm sure I was counting money or something. The two of you standing there talking, and you get that.
Yeah, I was thinking, is that interesting?
And I'm thinking, who's this guy?
Was it called a den? It
was definitely some kind of colour.
Yeah, something.
I was
You
different.
caught my eye.
Caught your eye.
You got my attention.
It wasn't my hair that caught your attention.
You got my attention.
So yeah, and you came over to me. So she obviously told you who I was, and then you came over to me and was like, It's like something. Can I talk to you for a bit or something?
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I don't remember the details.
It was
like
in
that.
the car.
I just remember saying,
sitting
"Come to
in
my
the
car," thinking that if she sees my man's whip, obviously she's gonna just be, yeah. And then you kind of like you didn't respond to the car, you didn't even acknowledge it, and I was thinking in the back of my head like, hold on, don't you see man's driving big Golf GTI? Like man's paid money on this, and you
big Golf.
And you didn't even utter.
I like your car.
Yeah.
No, I did say, is this your car? No, you said I've just got my car.
Yeah,
I think because it was like
fixed,
being fixed.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't afford a proper
nice.
brand new car, so we had to go. What do you call it?
Auction.
No, not auction. It was like damage repair.
Yeah.
And then
you got a car, you got it fixed up.
A car, yeah.
Yeah. But you did that, and then I said, oh yeah, it's nice. What was it?
The actual time when we started to make progress, I'm on the road doing a night shift, go on to Broad Street, which is in Birmingham, and then a
night shift, you know.
I remember coming into a club in my tracksuit. Yeah, rough head.
Gotta make it sound so like I have no sense in it.
And then I seen you in your white trousers. I think he's wearing a blue top. And I looked and I thought, okay. There's something going on around there. Lovely. And then long story short, I asked you for a dance.
Yeah.
And the song that was playing was the Leah, rock the boat.
Yeah.
Rock the boat.
That was a tune.
Rock the boat. And then
she was my favourite star sister to listen to at the time. But
you
did.
Remember the words I uttered to you?
You said to me, right, this guy said to me, he said, dump the zero, get yourself a hero. Yeah, I had to really think about that the other day. I couldn't remember. I was like, what is this talk about being a hero? Dump the zero, get yourself a hero while we're dancing. This time I'm like cracking up because I'm thinking, who even says that? People don't say that. That's not a line that you drop, but you did. And you said it like, and that was the time I gave you my number. So I gave you my number and you didn't phone.
I got your number. You know what's mad though? Because I distinctly remember that in my mind, I shouldn't have been going to that club. But because my brethren and everyone was saying they're going there, I was on the road doing stuff. Because I had a bag of money, I've made loads of sales that day. I've got a couple grand in my pocket.
This is new. This is new. I didn't know this.
Yeah. I did because I didn't tell you about that stuff in it. Like really, when I was on road. Yeah, and because I had money on me, I was like, no one can't chat to me. So I went in there, no haircut, my tracksuit.
Yeah.
But then I've seen you again, and I'm like, oh my god! And obviously you're more dressed up, kind of like
it was my friend's birthday. We went out for a birthday night.
You looked good, and I still remember how you looked in those white trousers, and I was like, right, I have to make an approach. Even though man hasn't gone to the barbers, I haven't, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been, I'm not groomed, but I had to, I was thinking I might not see you again because you was quite rare. It wasn't someone that you would see up and down. I'll go out on the weekend during them times. I was always going out. I'll never see her. So seeing you, I was quite surprised. And that makes sense. She's your friend's birthday.
Yeah. Her 19th birthday, 18th or 19th birthday, something like that. And we all agreed to go out for her birthday because we didn't go out. We didn't do that.
Yeah, I know that because I was what they call a town rat. So I'll be in all the the Broad Street clubs, and then we'll do like the after parties, which is like bluesies and stuff. And yeah, just if we could, we'll start from Thursday and finish Sunday.
Oh God.
But anyway,
sounds quite exhausting.
Yeah, but you're energetic, you're young. But I remember you gave me a number, but it probably took me about, how long would you say? About 2 months?
Ages. Because I remember thinking, what I actually, in the back of my mind, I thought, did you phone and did like my dad answer? Or did my mum have the phone? Or did someone take the phone call and run you? I was thinking, did that happen? And then you did phone, it was a random Saturday. And I was actually at home, obviously. I was literally rehearsing my lines. I was folding washing. Yeah, I sat in the living room and I will never forget because I was thinking, how are you folding? And you asked me, he's like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm folding washing. And you said to me, oh, you do stuff like that? Like you're not just waiting for the next thing to go out or you're not going out? I was like, no. Yeah,
because that straight away communicated to me kind of like home values, and you're not just on hype, you're doing housework behind the scenes. And some people just go out and it's just look good, but there's no substance. That was kind of like, oh, you're doing like in your house, because that's how my household run. That's how my mum ran our household. It was like Saturday was a day of you'd get stuff done, house stuff, clothes, food, go and get the shopping.
Yeah, soup on.
Yeah, and get the soup on. So I was quite surprised to hear that. But yeah, I think my mindset at the time why I took so long to call you, I was scared. That's the truth of the matter. I just didn't have the confidence. And in my head, I was like, I don't want to call you and say something stupid and mess it up, because I was really like, I really wanted to impress you. So I remember like rehearsing my lines in my head, thinking I'm on the phone.
Well, it's just like, what? Really? This is new. Come on. I want to hear the rest. Like the rehearsing.
It's just like rehearsing it in my head, like saying how am I going to approach it, because I just didn't want to mess it up. Does that make sense? I wanted to have a good impression on you, because like, you have to understand as well, like I used to think that anyone that did like me back then was because of the external things, like my car. I used to wear gold chain, diamond watch, rings. Like I had that kind of like that like road. I wouldn't like to say gangster, but that kind of like that look. Is that making sense? Like that bling look. And I thought, that was why people would like me, because of that. So I just didn't want to, I don't know, like risk you saying, actually, I don't like you and I'm not interested. Like, I didn't know if I was ready for that rejection.
I never did reject you though. No. I think it's interesting because I probably thought you wasn't gonna phone anyway, because that's what you did. You just took girls' numbers and probably realized that I wasn't that kind of girl. So
I remember
you're probably not gonna interested in me because I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not just like here for a one night or whatever.
You were definitely different, and I think when we started to talk, how you spoke very well. Still do. You know, in some
most of the time.
Yeah, I think I've rubbed off on you a bit. But
yes.
But I just remember being fascinated just by, because I remember when you used to come to my mum's house, and you'd come with your college books.
Yeah.
And you'd come and like be studying and saying, I've got assignments. And I'm thinking,
what weirdo.
Yeah, and like you like really into your books and reading your books and reading and this.
You always used to ask me, why have you always got a diary?
Yeah, and it used to be like very organized. And like you're walking around with a diary, and I'm like, but these things important. Are like fascinating. And then when
it's very important.
And when I found out that like he's telling me that your mum and dad was together, you're living in Sutton Coldfield, which is an affluent area in Birmingham, but you're Caribbean, you're like Jamaican heritage. You're just very intriguing to me, because like your mum and dad are together, your mum and dad are married. To me, I was like, I'm living in a single parent home. That's our reality. My dad's around and I have a good relationship with my dad, but it wasn't like that. My mom and dad wasn't married. Infant said was going through the difficulties. So for me, that was just fascinating. And I just think your perspective on life was powerful. Yeah,
I think that the fact that we connected on a level of our culture, so like music.
Yeah, I remember.
I made a CD. Do you remember?
Yeah, man. I remember Jabless
1 and Jabless 2 CD.
And I remember pulling
back
in the car.
The day when you used to burn CDs. I bet like, you were John Holt and
remember I said I didn't
Freddie
believe that
McGregor.
You made it.
He's like, how do you know these tunes? What are you talking about? We listen to
because you're so spooky. I was like, how you knowing about like Beres Hammond?
And I was saying
John
Beres Hammond. I wasn't saying Beres Hammond. I was saying Beres Hammond, Freddie McGregor, and John Holt.
And Jack Cure. And I was like, these are tunes I like. And then you made me the CD. And then the game, obviously the thing that just sealed the deal.
Oh, God.
About two things was when you invited me around to your house. So obviously I'm seeing drive. I'm seeing garage.
Semi-detached house with a garage. Cars
then you're telling
me
like, you have a cleaner. I was like, what? If someone comes and cleans your house?
We did still clean, but I guess I still had the luxury
that's not
of
even,
that.
We were the cleaners. Holidays in my house, we're cleaning down skirting boards, we're cleaning down the radiators.
Yes.
Dare say to my mum, you're bored.
She's finding you something to do.
You're mad. You cooked me a meal.
Yeah.
Oxtail with butter beans, rice and peas, roast potatoes and carrots, I believed was there. And I tasted your first cooking. And in that moment, I was like, I had a revolution. It's like heaven opened. And I just had this deep revelation, like a light bulb moment.
That was a Sunday. It was a
wow,
Sunday.
you can cook. And I remember saying to myself, wow, if you can cook like this, I can be with you forever. And I was just like sold. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, sign me up.
Like, so silly.
And then I remember we're walking along the canal. I think we're holding hands, or you're hooked.
Yeah, we're holding hands. We walked along the canal.
I remember, like, I'll call it now, I had an open vision while I was walking with you, and I literally could see myself with you, with children. And I said, you know what? I think you can have my children. You remember saying that to me?
I remember it.
Yeah. And
I remember laughing, thinking, God, that's a bit big.
Yeah, but it never happened before.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. I'm coming from a mentality that I probably had people that I was talking to, even when I was speaking to you. You know, I've been in different beds. Let's keep it real. I feel like I got my certification of Gallus. I'm gonna say
you got with the distinction.
Yes, I passed my test.
You're flying
colours. Like we have them in our tools and trees. So I came from that mindset in it. From me, say yeah, Gary, look good.
Yeah, but we don't have to sing the song.
And you
know what? It's only when you've been singing it like that, like actually understood the words.
Yeah. Like, so this is the mentality. This is the philosophy I'm growing up. It's like you don't fall in love. You don't commit to just one. It's just like have different. But then there's something about you where I know for a fact, even though I was talking to different people, I never ever said that. I never ever could see the future. And when I was holding your hands and walking along that canal, something happened. And it's just amazing to like think about where we are now on our journey.
Oh my gosh, that's giving me little butterflies. That has actually. I reflect because we've walked back over that canal bridge a few times. I actually just had a picture in my mind of when we walked back over it. I think it was just after maybe Willow was born, and then we've walked back over not long ago, like in the last week or so. And you said to me, "Oh, we need to put a padlock on that bridge." I think we need to put a padlock on that bridge.
Probably do because
that is like a very significant spot in Birmingham, really, for us. Where you said that, and I remember thinking, "This is a lot." Like, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure what you're saying? Because in my head, no kids, no marriage. Maybe we're just gonna have, you know, I said it that long ago, but I'm gonna have my Mercedes 2-seater convertible with my bag, and there's not gonna be nobody in it apart from me.
You always talk about you're seeing yourself with a 2-seater car and a handbag on your seat. What was that about?
For me, I was just on a mission, like, of independence and doing my own thing. And I started even though when we met at the time, my parents were still married. They were starting to go through their demise. I guess I just didn't really want to enter into a relationship with that thought that it's going to be finished, kind of thing. I didn't see. I just thought, you know what? It's better to be by yourself. You're okay. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're gonna do really good things. You're gonna conquer the world, and you don't need anybody alongside you to do it. You can do it because, from what I could see, I guess what I saw was like my mum giving everything. What seemed like my dad giving everything, and it's still not working in the way that, in terms of success and relationships, should go.
With that deep mentality, because I see it played out in lots of women, even now. Like, how did you get to the place where you could trust me?
Oh, that's a big question. I guess trust is earned, and you learn. You have to learn first what trust is, and I think it's kind of skipping ahead quite far in our journey of faith. So right now, where we are today is a couple that's married, but we have faith. So we have a Christian belief. We're practicing Christians. And I think when we put our faith and trust in God's ability, it makes, and when you do that, so you now heavily submit to God, you're on your face, you're praying, you listen out for what God's saying, it's easier to trust that and have the trust in, and build your trust in that. I think what's hard, and what I think some women do, and I've probably been guilty of it as well, is put my trust in a person and expecting them to kind of get you from A to B without understanding that it takes more than that. There's a lot more things at play.
To that? Because I when I speak to men, they articulate a thing where it's like they feel inferior. They feel like they're living with a woman that's like very strong, independent, and what's been interesting in forums in the past, when you start to unpack it, it's like they've grown up in households where their mom's been single, they've seen the trauma that their mom's gone through, because of a relationship breaking down, and they have this subconsciousness where it's like, you know what, I don't want to depend on no man.
Yeah.
So even though they're in a loving relationship, they don't truly let go. They don't truly let themselves be truly vulnerable and allow the man to. And when I say lead, not lead in like a domineering way, but
but to be the protector, that provider, because they've been hurt.
So and it's not even that they've been hurt; it's the potential of being hurt.
Because being hurt you. Sometimes you go through something and you might heal from that particular feeling, but you don't forget.
Yeah, but I'm talking about women that's in new relationships, never been in a relationship experience, but through what they've seen
and they've learned,
they're just like, you know what? If I don't want to give myself all to this relationship, this man,
because you're scared.
And
what's gonna happen?
And just because of the audience as well, in any relationship as well, like you hold back, in a sense, and you don't give your all. And I think that's something I want to try and help people, because I feel like people don't feel the real joy of love, of like when you actually like just let go of everything and just build something together.
But you have to, I think part of that is communicating. It's like how we're talking now, but also cultivating an environment where you feel like you can share and kind of excuse me, free fall into the relationship. See, a lot of the times what we do is we walk in a situation where we just want to hold on a little bit, have a little bit of control, because if we do that, then
but I think it's that little bit
it's the little bit that we need to let go.
Yeah.
But we hang on because you think if I just keep this control here, then at least I know I haven't given 100% of my heart, and I haven't given all of me, even though we sing this song. If I don't give him all of me and I hang on to a little bit, then there's less chance of all of my heart being broken, and at least I can recover.
But when you hold that little piece, it could be 1%,
it destroys
2%. That person doesn't feel that full love, and it's an invisible currency that I feel that people are lacking. To actually, like, you need to give 100% together, you know what I'm say, and then you feel something, and it's that magic that meets in the middle. When the 200% come together, that's where I think the dynamite happens. But that thing about what I wanted to explore with you is the confidence thing, because
you're not phoning me for how long, and me having the confidence to give you the number and the trust, because you're talking about trust in terms of building relationships. It kind of starts from the very beginning, doesn't it? I
think I understand it a bit. So when I first went through my change, and obviously became a born again Christian, one of my first messages ever was taking off the mask.
Yeah, I remember that.
The harsh reality is, like, I was born with a heart condition when I was younger. That impacted me in terms of my fitness levels. So as a boy, I didn't really participate in PE. I used to make up so much excuses in school, like why I'm not going to do PE, because I just couldn't keep up with the rest of the boys. And then I think as a teenager, like 13, 14, bad acne. Like my acne was crazy. So I'm overweight. I've got bad acne, and I don't feel that I'm like handsome or beautiful or whatever the word is. Does that make sense? Deep down, like, oh, I'm like the fat, spotty kid. There's times when I'll be like in town. I remember specifically I'll be with my brother and my cousin, and because I had the kind of, I don't know if it was called my performing arts, or I had this confidence, but it wasn't like a natural confidence. It was like a mask.
Oh, something you'd like put on.
Yeah, put on. And I could walk up to a group of girls and talk to them. And then many times, I mean, this is numerous occasions, I'll be with my cousin and my brother, and they'll be like, oh, who's he? And I'll be like interested in the girl.
But they're asking about
and then she's
brother.
like looking over my shoulder and it's like, oh, he's nice.
Oh,
and she'll say, oh, my cousin. And it would just kind of like reinforce the kind of
the
like
feelings that you had,
the ugly duckling kind of syndrome. And that's when I found road and I could make money on road, selling what I was selling and doing what I was doing. I became someone, people started to call me Skipper Don, and I started to embrace this Don mentality. Like, yeah, I'm a Don. So I'd walk around with my gold chains. I'd have at one time 2 sports cars, going to clubs, buy up champagne bottles, and have the external look of like, he's successful. And then, there'll be many times outside the club, I'll pull up and girls will just flock around the car and flock around because I was the man with the money. Like I was the outwardly looking like I'm the rich man.
Yeah.
And then you're getting attention from girls. But it was like, it's because of the external factors.
So, but inside, how was you like?
I'm still that.
You still struggling with
I'm the
that?
overweight, the kind of spotty person that's not feeling like he's beautiful. So what it is like, I really think that I like you. So I'm not saying it's love at first sight levels, but
what?
I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
So
and I don't want to hear
on putting on that whole kind of like act, I suppose.
No, so how I'm trying to say is that, like, the fear of being rejected, the fear of you potentially telling me
you're not interested,
you're not interested,
or asking about your brother, or something else.
Yeah, would have ripped me off.
So basically, it's like, if I don't call,
I don't have to hear it.
Then I don't have to hear it, and I don't have to feel it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That moment, I think, is probably one of the top reasons why our marriage is going the way it is. You've
got to think about all the places in your heart where you've put things and you try to let it, like, push it to the back, because it always comes out in the forefront.
Lies, you might think you're getting away with
you're
it,
not.
But in the eyes of, in the spirit and in emotions, that thing will come back to bite you in different ways.